Sigurd, the holy knight hailing from Granville from Fire Emblem 4 Genealogy of the Holy War, was officially revealed for Fire Emblem Engage. His description via Nintendo of America's Twitter is, Emblem Sigurd, known as the Emblem of the Holy War, is a noble knight with a mighty lineage. The Japanese Twitter account also showcases a quick exchange between him and Alear.
君のことは我が子のように大切に思っている。これからも共に戦い、歩んでいこう。
その言葉、心強いです。共に戦うたび、あなたと心が強くつながるのを感じます。シグルド。
We then cut into a gameplay showcase of Sigurd paired up with Kram. Right from the get-go, it's shown anyone wielding Sigurd's ring gets an increase in mobility, fittingly in reference to his insane movement in FE4 and in his legendary form in Heroes, while also granting Canto, rather Canter as Engage now calls it, and a few other skills. As for battle effects, Sigurd's ring also increases his hit and defense. Being able to give what is basically an equipable movement boost and Canto is pretty strong. Movement buffs are insanely high value, and giving it this early on as what looks to be a swappable passive boost is what could make Sigurd's value as an emblem absurdly high. No other lord in that mural should be mounted, and unless they put Erica on a horse, that will make Sigurd's utility extremely high, but that's just a prediction of mine. It would be a shame if Sigurd will end up being the only FE4 rep, or if there's only one rep per game. I hope that's not the case. But the reason I bring it up here is that Leaf is in the mural, and he's a Gen 2er from FE4, and Seliph does make an appearance in FE5 anyway. But then, if there is an Emblem Seliph and an Emblem Sigurd, did their emblem forms fight together 1,000 years ago? Hypotheticals, hypotheticals. Now let's move on to two other characters, Chloe and Louis. Let's start with Chloe. She's a Pegasus Knight from the kingdom of Firen that serves Princess Celine, and loves fairy tales and pretty scenery, seeking to find the ideal mix of both.
セリーヌ様、今日もお可愛らしい。ありがとう、クロエ。今日は少し自由な時間がありますけど、セリーヌ様はどう過ごされますか？そうね。クロエのペガサスに乗って近くの茶畑に行くのはどうかしら。喜んでお連れいたします。
In battle, Chloe is a Lance Pegasus, stated, not unlike traditional Pegasus Knights, to be good anti-magic units while also being weak to bows. She's equipped with an Iron Lance, a Javelin, and a Vulnerary. If you ask me, I think her design is the best of the ones seen so far for the OCs. It's not super loud or elaborately frilly, but not some plain Pegasus Knight design often used in the series. Next we have Louis. He's a gentle and friendly fellow clad in massive heavy armor. His design does invoke some Kellum vibes from Fire Emblem Awakening, but I'm hoping he's not as forgettable, no pun intended.
ルイ、何をしているのですか？
神竜様、特にこれといった特別なことはしていませんよ。ただ遠くから女の子たちが会話しているのを静かに眺めているだけです。
それは何のためにですか？
何のため？難しい問題ですね。ある種哲学的な問いとも言えます。
Louis, the Lance Armor class, starts with an Iron Lance and a Vulnerary, boasting high defense at the expense of being fodder to magic users. In his battle clip, he defeats an enemy archer whose allegiance is called Illusion Soldier. I've always been partial to these big armor designs, and I think Louis is pretty solid. It's nothing terribly special or flashy, but just right for a guy who doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who needs an extravagant look. The introduction of Sigurd's information marks an exciting point in the Engage hype cycle. There's not that many characters left in the initial trailer for Twitter to go over now. For emblems, there's Micaiah and Roy, and we're getting Leaf soon anyway, and for OCs, there's AT, there's that big guy who was with Alfred in AT, and the character who had Roy's emblem equipped. Maybe it's a sign that a new trailer will drop soon? Just a wild guess. And that'll do it for characters so far, but there's still some more stuff to talk about. English news from Fire Emblem Engage revealed how the weapon triangle will work for this entry. While swords beats axes and axes beats lances and lances beat swords just like the older games, daggers, bows, and tomes are neutral across the board except for brawling. now called arts, which has advantage over them. Attacking units with a weapon advantage now has the chance to inflict the break status on them, preventing them from counterattacking up until the opponent can retaliate on their turn. The weapon triangle is a welcome return and looks like it's going to have added responsibilities alongside the new break mechanic. While strong as hell on paper and practice, if these videos of our allies doing it is any indication, the implication of the mechanic being used against the player is also pretty big. This does serve as a hard punish to a few popular strategies to deal with enemy units in series past, like defense, resistance, or dodge tanking. That prospect as a counter for the enemies to take advantage of alone can be a sign that this game on a harder difficulty will be quite challenging, and personally, I'm looking forward to playing that. On to some recent Engage news. Past the usual, the game's pre-orders have now more than doubled Three Houses' total pre-orders ever, even though the game is still 2.5 months away. Back in October, this graph compared Engage's pre-order numbers to Three Houses' total numbers, and Engage nearly reaching 2/3 by that early on was simply a sign of what was to come. Evidently, the hype for this game is incredible, but the question is, why is that the case? This is purely speculation, but I'd wager it's probably a combination of plain old fan service. The game is based on a lot of that after all, compared to Three Houses, which relied solely on new characters. Fire Emblem as a series after Three Houses made Fire Emblem incredibly more widespread and popular. I would also say that Engage's initial trailer was more focused than what Three Houses was. I do wonder if Three House pre-orders after the time skip reveal jumped up, but that would be purely speculation, and I honestly have no idea. Pre-order sales data from Japanese retailer COMG, when compared to Three Houses, puts the new game's pre-order success in another perspective. This chart provides day-by-day comparisons leading up to the game's release, and for context, COMG is a chain of retailers in Japan which have a 0.1 market share. One pre-order at COMG is roughly 1,000 pre-orders, and as you can see, Engage is often tripling Three Houses and shows no sign of slowing down. What can I say? People are hyped. Why do you think Engage's pre-orders are so much higher than Three Houses? Let me know down below. If you did learn something or you did enjoy this video, please leave a like and comment down below. And if you want to be up to date on my coverage of Fire Emblem Engage, please subscribe for more. With that all being said, let me know what you think of Louis and Chloe. Like I said, I think both of their designs are really good and Chloe is my favorite so far. And let me know what you think of Sigurd. I think his design as an emblem is really, really cool and the best of the three so far. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.